Okay, so we're looking at the dilations with equations homework. This is day 3. Okay, so in class we just got done talking about how to dilate a line with a scale factor. Okay, so remember we further discussed that when we do a dilation, images will be parallel. Okay, so I'll start off by actually graphing this to give a better understanding. Okay, so if I'm going to graph y equals 2x minus 4, remember this is the number that we're going to start at, which is 0, negative 4. Please don't forget to grab this line in front of it. Okay, so that means I'm going to go down to negative 4. And the slope, this number here, again, is how you move. So this tells me I'm going to go up 2 and right 1. Up 2, right 1. Up 2, right 1. And I get some points, and I'm going to connect them to make the line. Okay, so don't forget arrows and a label. Okay, now I'm going to dilate this, which means I can pick a couple points on this line and actually multiply them by what they gave you, what's the scale factor. Remember, that's the goal, to multiply by the scale factor. Okay, so if I pick one of the points, let's say I chose 0, negative 4, and I multiply both of those by the scale factor of 3 halves. Well, 3 halves times 0 is still 0. And if I do 3 halves times negative 4, well, this gives me negative 12. Divided by 2, I get negative 6. So this point is going to change to negative 6. And let's do this point here. This point is 2, 0. Let's multiply that by the scale factor. So if you do 3 halves times 2, that becomes 6. Divided by 2 is 3. And 3 halves times 0, that's 0. So now I'm going to plot these as my new points. I'll do them in a different color so that you can see them. So this point here is going to become 0, negative 6. And this point will change to 3, 0, which is here. Okay. And if I connect these, what you see is yet again 2 lines that are parallel with one another. And I can prove it because if I do the slope of 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and write 1, 2, 3, okay, so that becomes 6 over 3. And if I do 6 divided by 3, I get back to that slope of 2, which is what the original had. So it still kept the same slope of 2, so I'm going to get rid of those 2 choices because they have slopes of 3. But it did change the y-intercept. Here is my new y-intercept, which is at negative 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. It's at negative 6. So therefore, the correct answer would be 2. Okay, I'll start you off on number 2 and then allow you to finish it. Alright, on to choice 2. Line K, which is what they're trying to tell us right here, is mapped onto line M with the center at the origin, which for right now that's not really going to affect it too much, and a scale factor of 2. So first thing first, I need to put this into y equals form before I can graph it. So subtract your 3x. Now be careful here because you still have a negative sign and most people will forget that. They'll forget to bring down the negative. So you need to get rid of that negative by dividing everything by negative 1. Now, use of the graph below is optional, so you do not have to use it. Okay. What we learned in today's lesson is that the scale factor does not affect the slope, it only affects the y-intercept. Why? Because the y-intercept is a point. So if you simply multiply the y-intercept by -2, you'll get your new equation. Okay? If you can't understand that, please graph this. I'm going to start at 0, -4, and rise 3, run 1. From here, do the same thing that I modeled here. I picked 2 points on the old line and then multiplied them by the scale factor. So if you pick 2 points on this line, could be any which ones you want, and multiply them by the scale factor, you'll get 2 new points. Draw your line, and please don't forget to state your new equation for line M. So you should have a new equation for line M, y equals blank x plus or minus a number. Okay, so I'm going to leave you guys to finish that one for yourselves. As for the extra credit, this one's going to be a little challenging, slightly challenging. Okay, because the center, if you read this, the center is not at the origin. The center is at 4, 2. So what I would like you to do is attempt this question. Put it into y equals form first. Plot this point and see where it is according to this line, and that should help you out slightly. Okay. If you have any further questions, please see me.